you doing?
Good, how are you?
Okay. Good enough, huh?
In real life, it says.
We ready? You speak first, Corey, or me?
Go for it.
Me? All right. We are here, April 15th, 4 o'clock, meeting of the Henry County Tourism Commission. Do we take attendance normally?
I got everybody.
You got it on? All right. Carrie, Kenny, Kayla, Donna, Cheryl, Scott, and Mary. We're all here. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from January 26th?
Yes, but I dispute nominating myself for vice president. Because I said I'd do it if nobody else would. Oh, did I do something?
She didn't like that
Yeah, too late.
Nominated herself for vice president.
That's what it says.
But other than that, I make a motion to adopt the minutes as presented. If you want to amend that a little bit.
I'm gonna augment that. She's suggested she would
Soften
do
it.
it if no one else would.
How do I? Let's see. I don't know.
The commission nominated. Jointly
There you go.
nominated.
Yeah.
Sorry.
By the
My
commission, by omission.
My brain got
Nominated.
stuck on that. Donna. But no, I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes.
I will second.
We have a second. We have a motion and a second. Are there any discussion changes other than that for the minutes? Everyone approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Passes. We can move on to, and thank you, Carrie, for the minutes. We can move on to Kenny with the financial update.
Okay, I'll just read off the numbers here. The current, as of now, the checking account has $72,963.78. Our savings account has $22,506.92. And then the innkeeper's tax, we're going with the paper here, is $21,001.15. And the current first quarter request is $30,587.59. So when I give them the check, our total balance would be $85,884.26 is what we would have available current.
After the invoice.
Yes.
But it does look to seem that that's about 1/3 of our annual operating expenses that we budgeted for this year. But as Corey mentioned, that does reflect a lot of one-time cost up front for the whole
I
calendar
think
year.
there's a few of them. And if you, because I think our budget, is, what, 96,000? Yeah, and the 30,000 you're mentioning being a third. Yeah. But
Still have 3 more quarters to go. But if we paid a lot of things in advance for the calendar year, then
yeah, and in general, I mean, looking at it just from a finance standpoint, yeah, there will be definitely enough money to fund this budget.
Yes.
And then you would think it would continue to cushion at whatever level, we don't know. But so I'd say we're fine. I guess is a technical term to use, fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Is this where we talk about the innkeeper's tax revenue, or do we talk about that later?
You can, and I don't know if there's any other questions. And then I think
No.
numbers wise, I mean, you kind of put these, and to me, I'm always one that, you know, it's hard to, I can't project, you know, you just never know. You just don't know. And I'm always conservative about it all. You know, if I'm anyway, I'm going to be slow on it. But I think things probably would be considered stable.
I do too.
I mean, that's how I see it.
So
We do, and I guess from a more specific thing, we do a lot of this work out on Road 3, and most of those guys, though, are union guys that are within an hour radius, so they're really not staying here, which is kind of a bummer, you know, which is...
Or any of them stay in? You have
They're
some?
a small amount.
All right, well, yes.
But the way they're worked in, and that's just
Yeah.
kind of how it is. 'cause
when's that project gonna end?
I know, yeah, on 3 here, I think, well, it'll go all year till December.
Okay.
Their goal, I think, is December 10th range.
I know, I feel the same way.
Yeah, but I know in the few years past, during the winter months, I know some gas line people, and there's a few work groups that were staying. And this work group in particular doesn't because of how they do, how their format is, which is kind of, from a hotel standpoint, kind of
Yeah.
sad for us.
Yeah.
Have it
Yeah.
built in right there, all this action. It's like, but I tell you what they do at our place in particular. You can drive by there anytime. It looks like we're the busiest place in the world because there's about 15 trucks every day because they rent our conference room and they're using it as their hub. Yeah, so it's kind of false advertising on. But there's been a ton. Yeah, and they have. It's been great to do that and got to meet some of them people and all that, and trying to talk some of them into getting group rooms or whatever. But that's kind of the nature of it all. But then moving forward, here being April now, I think you have your saddle club and events and your
Oh,
go-kart events and your weddings or class reunions and
That's-
stuff like that. So I think would be stable, would be a fair word to use.
So with, we were looking at the revenue, Carrie and I were looking at the revenue for the first 3 months and thought that was a big number.
Yeah.
Is that a typical number? Corey or?
Yeah, and you're at the top, the 26,000.
Yeah.
What's Marketplace Facilitators?
Airbnbs, I think.
Yeah.
It would be.
It's down
Okay.
here.
So
Okay, I see it now.
we don't like doing it.
Scott, to answer your question, I'm going to say I don't know for the moment, and what I'll do is I'll go back and get a couple years comparison just to be able to answer that question.
Yeah.
But I do know that I'm very uncomfortable taking that number and multiplying it by 4.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
We did it though.
Yeah.
You're uncomfortable with Scott and I.
We already
aren't
did. Carrie and I already did
I
it.
know.
104,000, yeah.
Yeah.
We got excited.
But it's a good number.
Yeah.
So we'll end with that optimistic point there.
All right, anything else on the financial update?
No.
No questions? Anything else? We don't need a motion for that, do we?
Yeah.
We do?
Okay.
Motion to accept the financial update from Kenny.
And to pay the invoice.
And we got the invoice number 30,000 some. And to pay the invoice. We have a motion?
So moved.
Mary, we have a second?
I'll second.
Anna, we have a motion and a second. All that approve of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion carries.
I will do that.
Kenny will pay the invoice. Next is an explanation of the invoice itself. Corey?
Well, I would just respond to any questions.
Corey, do you find that people are using, I know that you have been giving Placer AI information to like Memorial Park and I know I talked to somebody on the board at Memorial Park and they were, in a good way, surprised by the number of people that were there. So have you had other good, you know what I'm trying to say?
Discoveries.
Yeah.
We're using that tool on a regular basis.
Are people asking for information or are you just offering it to different people?
Both.
All right.
The Renaissance Festival, we just had our annual meeting Saturday.
Mhm.
And we were actually talking about the numbers and it worked wonderful for that particular festival.
When will that be, Mary?
So, this year's Renaissance Festival will be in September. I cannot remember the date right off the top of my head, but it's normally in July, and we've moved to September, so we all won't be sweaty,
Yeah.
No.
preferably, and also to make sure that we have to make sure we're not interrupting any of the other large festivals, so everybody has the opportunity to attend. But I think it's going to be far more temperate for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah.
In September, yes, in September.
Okay.
And then that's a separate committee, that's not tied to the library, that's a separate?
No, the Renaissance Festival has not been tied to the library for a few years.
Yeah.
It's its own thing now.
Yeah.
It's its own little nonprofit.
There you go. Anything else on the invoice? Questions?
Nope.
Nope. We like it.
Do November 7th.
Yeah, okay, sorry, November 7th.
Or I have something September.
I'm sure of it. What Carrie said, November 7th.
That's the
Again,
Renaissance.
yes, it's still going to be obviously better. You can wear long sleeves.
That's right.
Well, there could be a blizzard in November.
Or it could be beautiful.
There could be a blizzard in July. We're in
Yeah.
Indiana.
I don't know if tourism, I'm looking at Christy, if marketing cares, but, and you probably already know this, but Renaissance Festival's moving to the beginning of November, and then Christmas Walk.
Christmas walk.
That's
Moved
all
up.
gonna be
And the
one
tree
thing.
lighting is gonna be one thing,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Just, I mean, April's already
Yes.
half over.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah,
make
time
you
to
have a
plan
heart attack.
Christmas, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
Working on
Yeah.
Juneteenth is. I was like, is it timed? Is
Yes.
June is tomorrow? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
Yeah.
is June.
Yep.
Got it.
All right, we covered the invoice. Point 3, number 4 is marketing update. Christie?
On the last page, I have created, I thought it might be easier to just kind of make this a habit when we have opportunity to just kind of highlight some of the things that we've been doing. The first quarter, of course, as Kayla knows, was all basketball all the time. So, we, having Indianapolis host so many big tournaments, gave us some opportunities to reach out to those folks. And whether or not they came over, they at least heard about us. We're kind of hard to miss between, and I saw the Hall of Fame. We didn't have anything to do with that. The Hall of Fame was at the airport when we were leaving for spring break. So they had all kinds of, I just saw you, I'm like, oh, there they are, oh, there they are. So
Good.
that was really cool to see. But the other thing that we've been doing is we've been working with tourism for a little bit now, and we wanted to create a content library so we actually know what we have that we've done already, the things that we might need to update and things like that. So we have that content library created. We have been, those two we had two specific blogs that were just about the tournaments, and the first one was more aimed at people trying to get them to stay here, and the other one was more the day trips, the visits to our local destinations that are basketball related and otherwise. And then we did run a very small Meta campaign because Meta was deciding to be very difficult this spring, but we did get we had a reach of about over 5,000 people with that campaign. Our website visits were up significantly from the previous year. Again, I think due to people interested in the basketball things. So yeah. So and then we. This is more next quarter coming up, but Corey landed us a really nice ad in the Indianapolis Monthly. Is that correct, Corey?
Indianapolis Monthly, yes.
Indianapolis Monthly. And that one is focused on an idea that Carrie brought to my attention about half-tank trips, kind of like we're not that far from you should come and see us. So. And we'll be kind of leaning into that a little bit more as gas continues. That was even before gas got real bad, but so we look super relevant, I think. But the other thing that was really cool that Corey and Penny and their team did the heavy lifting on was the hosting the Hoosiers 40th anniversary viewing. We sponsored that for Newcastle Main Street, or like you all did sponsor that for Newcastle Main Street. And then the other thing I just wanted to highlight was the Travel Indiana that we're in once a quarter. We not only ran an ad, but they actually included us in a little blurb about water recreation in Indiana. So.
Is that a magazine, Travel Indiana?
Yeah,
Right.
it's a really nice magazine, and it really is great for travelers. I mean, travelers, they like it. So, and it's online and
Yeah, I look at that.
digital.
online.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, that's what it is. And I think that kind of gets the gist of it. Where summer, believe it or not, like it seems like we would be super busy during basketball season, but people plan a ton of events in the summertime. So summer is usually when we cannot hardly remember what our names are when we're dealing with tourism stuff. It's like there's always so much to promote. And we just posted a blog about the Broad Street cruise-ins. We wanted to make sure that we got, we didn't quite make the first cruise-in because we were so focused on basketball, but, they've got a long season ahead. So, yeah, that's what we're up to there. And we will be doing more email newsletter sign-up promotion, specifically mostly aimed at our local people, but, hopefully we'll get some others as well, so.
I noticed you've been promoting the parks, like,
Yes.
is that a theme that you go through each one of them?
Yep, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just important to remind to more, and also that's another thing that's very attractive to people that are regional, but, maybe not, it may not drive the overnight stays, but it will at least get the, some people in our community and hopefully going out to eat or whatnot, so, yeah.
Yeah, we're busier during the summer than basketball season
Yeah.
too, actually.
Yeah,
People
that's-
traveling and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tournaments or kid tournaments and stuff. No.
Yeah, and I just think
dirt road.
it's amazing the amount of people that say they see our billboards, like on 70,
Yeah.
and like take the exit and stop in, and so that's our
Yeah.
busiest time is summer.
yeah.
Did you see any specific traffic from the
Oh yeah,
tournament?
for sure. Yeah, we had people travel as far as we had people from Italy that were
Yeah.
in town for just the Final Four. So
There you go.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
Sure,
we
the
had
Hoosier
lots of
Gym
people.
got the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good, all that basketball was there, it's coming back when? What's next? The women are back there in 2 years or next year?
I don't think
More
it's
about
next
it.
year. It might
Year
be
after
2 years.
next?
I should know that, but it
And
might be
then-
2 years.
And men are back in 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I think 4. Yep.
It's good for us. Any other questions on marketing?
Corey, did you have more to add to marketing too?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. So the state does an economic impact analysis for each of the counties each year. And so ours so this is based on 2024. Held steady from 23, visitor spending 43 million, total economic impact 20 million, jobs supported 515, and then taxes generating both state and local 3.9. So that was very similar to the year prior, 2023. The main difference was the amount of growth. We had a large amount of growth from in 2023, and that growth has leveled off. Just in terms of the economic impact. I'll send that out via email. That way you can dive into it if you want to, or you can hit delete if you want to. In your packet is a one-pager. It's on our letterhead. It has tourism tools, and then economic development tools. So we have been promoting that locally at meetings, and so those are our communication channels.
Is there a charge for the kiosk at State Road 3 and 38?
We do not charge,
Okay,
but we're picky on what goes
Yeah.
up there.
I understand. But I didn't know if there was a fee involved.
No, there's not a fee.
I'm having an open house for my senior.
Yeah.
What all the people?
Rejected.
And then
Gee, I could go get nothing.
Make a cool crowd, wouldn't it? Interesting crowd.
Penny and I have been doing visits. In the first 3 visits, and there's no rhyme or reason to this, but we visited Memorial Park, we visited the Motorsports Park, and Wilbur Wright. And speaking of Placer, Carrie, we use Placer on each of those visits. We also use that one pager that I just mentioned to you. We want to make sure that our attractions know of our communication channels and know how to get plugged in. The purpose of the visits is to further develop the relationship, maintain the relationship, identify any challenges or opportunities. Based on the Placer data, Memorial Park and the Motorsports Park are either holding their own or growing, because the Placer data looks back over a number of years. If I could put up a traffic light in terms of red, yellow, green, I would say the Wilbur Wright birthplace is flashing yellow. In terms of, and I don't want to necessarily, I don't want to speak poorly of them, but not very many people visited the Wilbur Wright birthplace in the last year. And so they are struggling for a variety of reasons. And, we made sure that they were connected, to our channels. And one of the things that I'm considering doing is we have a few $1,000s left in what we call the CVB fund. And so that was the proceeds from the sale of the Yellow House. And I'm thinking about taking a couple $3,000 from that fund and maybe hire an organizational consultant to work with them and work with their board in an effort to be helpful if they're interested in doing that.
They do have several new board members, and I think they're looking at, they need to have more programs available to the public to draw in. I do know, I've talked to Sabrina Criswell's one of them, and she's really gung-ho about building up their tourism at that location.
So I just wanted to make you aware of that. That's one of the purpose of the visits, is to uncover challenges and opportunities. And so I think there's a challenge there.
How do they raise money? The donations or a fee to go through the museum, or?
There's a small fee to visit the museum, and then they also have different kinds of events which serve as fundraisers.
So do you need us to make a decision about using some of that monies now, or?
No, that is separate from the Tourism Commission.
Okay. But it is consideration of yours.
Yes, I mean, I'm interested if you think that's a bad idea.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great. But I think if they were to have more programs out there, that people would be more, it would help create awareness.
And then on a positive note, 40,000 people visited the Motorsports Park.
I'm not surprised. I live by there.
And then you tie the data in terms of where the highest number of people are visiting the Motorsports Park, and then you look at some other attractions, and that's why we ended up buying an advertisement in the Indianapolis Monthly. It's because that's the people that are visiting our market. They're coming from the Indy metro area, and so it made sense to be in the Indianapolis Monthly. In their travel guide, in their vacation guide section, but I would have never thought to be in the Indianapolis Monthly, and I'm a subscriber to the Indianapolis Monthly. It's a great magazine, And so their salesperson called, and then I, have looked at enough placer data from a variety of different attractions, and it just, the Hamilton County market, the Hendricks County market, the Marion County market, it just makes sense for us to be there. So, Carrie, that's another way that we've used the placer data.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think when you were first looking at it, Corey, at some point I talked to a salesperson somewhere, and they were talking about Cincinnati Reds, or some community had. It's interesting. Then you know where to advertise, because you can get more people from. Yeah.
Penny, do you want to add anything? You went on those visits with me and you set them up. So do you want to add anything?
I thought it was
And so-
interesting how Mike Adams kind of correlated the information with his seasonal times. You remember that? How he said, yeah, they were, I mean, we can see people from out of the country come, and he goes, yeah, that was probably the guys from Italy or the guys from Spain or something. Remember that?
Yes, and yeah. So Penny's talking about the owner, the manager at the motorsports park, correlating his races versus the placer data, and so that was a further confirmation of, there was a large number of people from Europe there, and so he was able to identify the race.
Yes, it was meaningful, very meaningful to him.
So they have events that are races and pay money, plus they have open time for people to rent carts on their own. Okay.
Yes.
They're open races.
The primary purpose of that facility is to host racing.
They have a limited amount of time for people around here.
Just to
It
show,
really is limited.
Yeah.
it's filled. The time's filled up with.
Well, and we don't realize it, but there's a lot of weekends ESPNs out there,
Oh,
because you'll see them pull in and out.
yeah. He says he's
I didn't know
What?
that.
Yeah.
ESPN.
Oh,
I thought it was just more
What'd
of
you
a.
think she said?
Nope, it's not.
Recreational
They have national races there.
That's fine, I was just pretty sure I didn't know what it was.
And they've got quite a lot of well-to-do clients out there.
Yes.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
people that leave
It's an
their.
expensive hobby.
That's
Yeah,
that's what I was getting ready to
leave their
say.
trailers there. It's really very interesting. But just if it's, you're on your normal path, I don't particularly know that I have kids that I could take there or think about it, because it is sporadic.
And it's
honestly.
expensive.
Yeah.
But they used to have a nice little restaurant there. Do they still have that?
Yeah, they do.
They do, and admission is free for spectators.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go out there and view anytime.
And I know during the month of May, you'll meet a lot of the race car drivers out there, 'cause
Oh,
they go
yeah.
out there and hang out.
Yeah.
And I would say overall, the people seemed glad we came, didn't they?
Yes, and we'll continue those visits.
Yep.
The final thing that I'll mention is another county reached out, and I spent a couple hours talking with a couple of their leadership on how we do tourism in Henry County, and so that those conversations have occurred quite often over the last couple years. I don't know if we can call ourselves a model or not, but people are interested in how this structure works. That concludes my report. And if you didn't hear why I'm talking from the TV, is I had an eye procedure this morning and I'm pretty cranky.
I'll validate that.
Because men are wusses. Sorry, Scott.
You two belong.
Sorry, Kenny.
So be it.
You and me. You and me.
You guys haven't had babies.
There you go. So that's marketing update. One thing I had to mention is the America 250. Nate Lamar has is so much tourism. It is tied to the cruise in on the 4th of July. He has a run through all 13 townships like he did during the bicentennial. Except this time it's not with a torch. This is with flags. So it's a similar thing. So it's gonna end over here at the
Courthouse.
at the courthouse during the cruise-in.
At 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, that's his plan. So he has it all planned. If you know him, he has it all planned out to the minute. No doubt about that. And the other thing I want to mention is Newcastle Main Street has their annual meeting April 30th. If anyone wants to attend that, it's at the 1414 venue at 6 o'clock. So April 30th for the Newcastle Main Street meeting. Anyone else have any announcements to make? Mary, you brought a brochure
Yeah, I brought a
handout.
We are having, tis the season for resource fairs and events and nonprofit events there. And I brought one for the Partners with Purpose. One of the other hats that I wear is I work for the Heart of Indiana United Way. And we have an RFP coming up where we're going to do funding for 2 years. We have a 5-county reach. And we would like to have more funding partners in Henry County. I think we had one, possibly two, the last grant cycle for the RFP. So this will be an opportunity for nonprofits and things to come in and hear about what it's gonna take. And it's not just us hosting, the Community Foundation is hosting, and so is REMC. And REMC, you know, the association the foundation has several different grant opportunities, but RAMC does too. They have micro grants available. So we want to make sure, and it's probably not something that a lot of nonprofits knew about. So this is going to be an opportunity for us to share, but also for the nonprofits to be able to give us their elevator pitch as well. So we can all kind of get it together. Because one of the things that irks my jerky the most is communication. We have all of these things, and it would be nice to have wraparound services for everybody, but nobody knows what anybody else is doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping this is a step. But there's also Hope Initiative is having an event in the evening at REMC2 on May 7th, which is basically going to get the nonprofits together. They're going to be talking about different subjects like affordable housing, homelessness in the community, and all of that, and the public is invited to that. The Field House, thank you, Carrie. The Newcastle Schools is having a resource fair event at the Field House this Friday evening. And the library is having a resource fair event this Saturday. So we've got if you need resources or want to find out about resources, we're going to do some heavy communicating. So I think it's important for as many people, especially in this room, to know about those opportunities so we can make sure we're helping and just know so we can, make sure we're sharing that out. So
The National Road Yard Sale this year will be our 23rd year. It's always the first Wednesday after Memorial Day, which is May 27th. And Knightstown, I know, is really, the whole purpose of this was for communities to have an opportunity to have a festival and make it all the way across US 40 and promote the restaurants. And
Yeah.
so I know I've got out and worked it every year, and I meet people from all over the country, vendors and customers and people just out looking.
It stays
So,
pretty busy, though.
It's
It
yeah,
does.
growing. I spent 2 hours the other day on the telephone with a reporter from Maryland. I've always had trouble getting Maryland on board, and this gal, I think she's going to put me over the edge with Maryland. So
Donna, how was the Heart?
the Heart
February.
Society event was very well received. We had about 300 people through the Basketball Hall of Fame. We raised about $3,000, which it was kind of a last minute thing that we did, and it created a lot of awareness. We gave away 6 AEDs that night that were actually awarded last year, but we didn't receive them until recently. And we've already started our grant application for 6 more AEDs, and that is due August 15th. So if you know of a service organization or non-for-profit that might be interested in a free AED, just let Alicia at the hospital know.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll do it for the meeting. We have a motion to adjourn.
You have to set the next meeting date.
Yeah, there it
It's
is.
already
I'm
on
gonna
here.
say that
Where's
next,
that at?
but I
July
said it
15th.
first.
I'll just
July 15th.
Oh, real quick, if you notice extra traffic, so we had our men's induction ceremony and reception in March, but then that's always on a Wednesday, which is kind of random, but the women's is always the last Saturday in April. So we sell ticketed banquet seats, and it's a meal in Indianapolis on that evening, but then we host a free and open to the public reception at the Hall of Fame Museum the day of from 11 to 1. So it's a busy day. So we do 2 events in one day.
What is that?
April 25th. It's the last Saturday in April.
Okay.
So we don't have enough parking for that ever. So Forest Ridge is, yeah.
Hope there's not a tennis meet.
Yeah, I know, that's always, we've, luckily, we have a really good relationship with the high school. So like for the men's, with Forest Ridge being open on Wednesdays, we actually use their golf cart and have started toting people, over from there. That was one of our volunteers' idea, which was wonderful, and he volunteered to drive it, and it was very cold that day, so he's, weathered the weather, so, and then, on Saturday, we can just use across the street Forest Ridge. They're really nice. They're good to us. So, but from 11 to 1, you don't need a ticket to that. We serve light refreshments. Most of our honorees and inductees come to that. It's a chance for them to come see their displays. We hand them their, Chad Nickum does a portrait for our enshrinement gallery downstairs. So he hands them we give them their actual artwork that day. And it's just kind of a fun day at the hall before we go to the Indianapolis event that night, so. Before golf season, which I love. Yeah, so.
And that's already started with the nice weather.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
We done, Scott?
We adjourned.
I'll make a motion to
Motion
adjourn.
adjourned, right there it was. Our next meeting is 4 o'clock, July 15th.
Corey, you done?
Thank you.
You second? Who seconded? Nobody.
I was going to say, I will.
Yes, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, you done.
You gonna hit off?
You got it.